Welcome back to 10 Minutes with Kuhle, the show where South African politics writes the comedy and I just do the commentary. Today's episode is on Gwede Mantashe and Cyril Ramaphosa and the threat to blow up the government of national unity if Gwede's right-hand man, Kenny Sushi King Kunene, isn't reinstated as Johannesburg's mayor. Johannesburg's MMC, rather, for roads and transport, because apparently in Joburg's politics, being a councillor is like being offered a side salad when you're ordered a full steak. It's not good enough, take it back. So here's the story. Kenny Kunene was out of the game for about 2 months after being spotted at a murder-accused's house. Honestly, only in South Africa could your MMC be caught in a place like that, and the story still ends with, "Oh, but he's cleared now." An independent probe said Kenny did nothing wrong. Great, he's back in council. But Gwede says, no, councillor, that's entry level. We signed for MMC. If he doesn't get it back by Tuesday, I resign, we all resign, and the GNU becomes the GNU. Imagine threatening to collapse the national government over a Joburg MMC seat. That's like burning your whole house down because KFC forgot your coleslaw. Now, it's also important to understand that with Kenny Kunene being forced to resign in these last 2 months, went on leave, South Africa, we never fire people here in South Africa, especially in politics. No. We don't fire people. They always go on special leave. They resign. They get, what's the word again? When they reshuffled, somehow there's always something special instead of you were fired for your illegal actions. But nonetheless, let's leave that aside. Our good old friend Liam Jacobs became a councillor because, he was supposed to be the mayoral candidate of a said city called City of Tshwane. Then, instead of being the mayoral candidate, while being the mayoral candidate, he went and became a councillor in Joburg. He filled out Kenny Kunene's seat, and then, boom. It's as if you couldn't script this. It's as if Gwede knew that Kenny's coming back. He forced Liam to resign after sitting in just one council meeting and earning a fat paycheck. So Liam Jacobs has sat in one council meeting, has earned two salaries totaling up to 129,000 rand for sitting in one council meeting. That is where our money is going to, ladies and gentlemen. And now Liam is supposedly running to be the mayor of Cape Town. You can't script this. This is what happens in parties that are one-man shows. This is exactly what happens. Now, rumors are flying that Julius Malema and the EFF want the same MMC portfolio. Because, of course, when there's political chaos, Malema shows up like that one cousin who appears whenever there's free food. Picture this. Mackenzie shouting, "It's ours." Malema saying, "No, it's ours." And the ANC in the middle like a divorced parent at a Christmas trying to keep both sides happy. And let's be honest, if Malema did get the roads and transport job, Joburg might finally get new potholes instead of just the old ones. But on a more serious note, I believe something's at play. Julius Malema aiming for this MMC of roads. Now, the idea is, if you've noticed, the EFF have got their national leaders starting to leave parliament and going back to the ground structures. And I believe that Julius Malema realizes that in order for him to resuscitate or to actually keep the EFF alive, he needs to go into local government. Because let's be quite honest, the EFF doesn't have any credentials. It doesn't have any government that it has run that it can speak of when it comes to electoral campaigning. I mean, at least Action SA has got Herman Mashaba. Even though, let's be quite honest, Herman Mashaba did not do much in service delivery. He was just deporting foreigners, and somehow people celebrated that. I mean, if we leave that aside, we look at Gwede Mantashe was the mayor of the Central Karoo. It was a whole PR stunt which grew his party, right? You look at Nasipi Mayor in Tshwane. These are all PR stunters. But let's look at a bigger story. Let's look at Helen Zille. The DA became popular through their excellent governance of the city of Cape Town. So Julius Malema probably realizes this. And it is said, according to, what I've been hearing from the grapevines, is that Julius Malema could possibly want to run for the mayor of the city of Johannesburg. Now, this is huge because This could be Julius Malema finally realizing that, well, I've not done much in my 40 years of existing besides spewing racial hatred, pushing for sanctions and being blacklisted by Western countries. Now he realizes that he needs to run a government. Now this is going to be very interesting because yet again, let's be quite honest, Helen Zilla's running for the mayor of Johannesburg. Which person can each party put up to contest with Helen Zilla? Because that was a real ace the DA pulled by putting Helen Zilla there. Let's look at the options. Action SA, I've got Herman Mashaba, or should I say Hairman Mashaba? The thing is, Herman Mashaba, if we have to look at his track record is as good as Operation Tutula. The only thing he achieved was to kick out foreign nationals. But no one speaks of the poorest service delivery that happened during his tenure. Now, let's park that aside. Let's look at parties such as Rise Mzansi and their new conglomerate of Bossa and the rest. It seems as if they might pull a doozy. They might bring out Mani to run for mayor, or they might be bringing out Lindiwe Mazibuko. Let's be quite honest. When Gwede Mantashe said, you guys have got capacity dololo, we are also referring to Musi and to Lindiwe Mazibuko. Now, let's leave those aside. Let's look at the ANC. The ANC has got a candidate, arguably, called Dada Morero. And in order for us to see him, he needs to stand on a box in order for us to see him because that is how short he is. But there's one good thing about Dada Morero. There's one good thing. He is the most honest politician because he said, don't expect too much from me. He was quite short and frank, no pun intended, that don't expect too much from. Then you look at the PA, the Patriotic Alliance. They decide to put the sushi king, the guy who thinks it's fit to eat sushi off of women's stomachs, otherwise known as Kenny Gunene, as the mayoral candidate. You look at Maibuye Africa. Maibuye Africa supposedly might put Action SA's former speaker, Nobuhle Tembu. Allegedly, those are the rumors. It doesn't look good. You look at Mkhonto Wesizwe, who are they going to put? I don't know. I don't care. But nonetheless, you sort of realize that the EFF would be forced to put Julius Malema as their mayoral candidate. Hence, Julius Malema wants to come in as an MMC. The idea is Julius will come in as an MMC. He will do a brilliant job. He will do a brilliant job. I need to highlight brilliant job media-wise. Not brilliant job as in he's doing a brilliant job in terms of the books and, Auditor General's reports. No. In terms of all of a sudden he'll show himself paving roads since it's the MMC of Roads and Transport. He'll show himself somehow improving the Rea Vaya network. Somehow. But it's going to be a PR stunt. Same as what we've seen in the city of Tshwane with Nasipi Moya. These are PR stunts. The fact is grass is still not cut. The fact is there is so much corruption going on in that city, as well as the Auditor General's report has come out even worse. The PR stunts are good. So Julius Malema seems like we'll be running for the mayoral chains after getting the MMC position. Now, Mackenzie is also promising a mass exodus if his demands aren't met. I don't know what that means in PA terms, but let's be real. The PA doesn't have that many officials to begin with. It's less of a mass exodus and more like when your Uber driver cancels and you have to walk. But Gayton sells it like he's about to pull half of Parliament out with him. Man's got confidence, I'll give him that. The question is what's at stake? Here are your options. Gunene gets reinstated, PA stays, ANC swallows pride, EFF salts, Gunene stays just as a councillor, Mackenzie walks away, JNU shakes, Joburg becomes even more of a circus. Malema swaps in, he gets roads and transport, Joburg turns into a giant red beret construction site, or a compromise deal, which in South African politics usually means more fighting later. Now, the fate of the GNU and Joburg politics, including other small councils, rely on Kenny Gunene sitting in the MMC chair again. If that sounds insane, congratulations, you're paying attention. Let me be blunt. If you ever needed proof that our politicians treat government like a nightclub guest list, this is it. My friends can't get in, so we are leaving. Meanwhile, residents just want working street lights and potholes fixed. But hey, why worry about roads? We can have political soap operas instead. Now, moving on to our second story of the day is President Cyril Ramaphosa is feeling a lot of pressure. Apparently, people in his party, and this will be pretty quick to go through because he has a doozy. People in his party are looking for a suitable replacement. After what Ramaphosa has done, it seems like his utterances of congratulating the DA's good governance has fast-forwarded his death. So that's what it seems like. It's not looking good. Cyril Ramaphosa looks like he's about to go. Does not look like he will make it to early next year because there's a lot of pressure for him to be kicked out. But also it seems like his party knows that they cannot put, what's that guy's name? Paul Mashatile in front. Because, I mean, outside of, lacking skill, the other thing he lacks is charisma. So it's not looking good even from an election campaign's point of view. The bottom line is the ANC can see there and cuck. The PA is causing drama over Kenny Kunene. It looks like the GNU might fall. It really does. It looks like we are headed for one thing that we've always been calling for with my good old friend Mike Shan. We've been calling for fresh elections. And by the looks of it, the only party ready for fresh elections is the Democratic Alliance. So, are there any good stories in this? Are there any good heroes in the story? Doesn't look like, except for the DA and a few other people trying to work honestly. But, ladies and gentlemen, till next time, stay free. Let's be objective when looking at the news. And let's not be fooled by these guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It really helps in growing our channel. We really need to share this message far and wide. As well as, please don't forget to support the channel by signing up for membership. It really helps in keeping the lights on. As well as, you can support the work we do here by joining our WhatsApp group, which I will put in the comments below. You can join our WhatsApp group where you can speak to us, as well as you can support us financially by buying me a coffee on the comments below using a super chat. Till next time, ladies and gentlemen, stay free, stay blessed. Shalom.